more
It's so
times.
lovely and liberating that you do have so much control over your own narrative now. One of the things that I thought was really interesting as someone who was an avid viewer and fan of Laguna Beach, I was fully tapped into Kristen and Steven's podcast, and I didn't realize all the Frankenbiting that was going on. And so now when I rewatch it, I'm like, oh my God, this scene was totally Frankenbit. That was a voiceover. I'm
Oh
wondering if
yeah.
there's ever like, was there a scene or situation where you were like heavily Frankenbit, where you're like, oh my God, this is absolutely the complete opposite of what is being shown on TV right now? Like, do you have any situations that stand out to you?
Yes, absolutely. The season of The Hills where Audrina and I were at odds, when they shot that season, I had no idea that we were at odds. I thought that we were friends. And then the edit came out, and the edit was not a very flattering edit of me because of the way that they cut the show together with voiceovers and me staring off into space. And I think, unfortunately for her, that created a sense of, oh, we must not be friends in real life. But for me, like that season, we were totally friends. And, the show comes out and it changes your real life relationship. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I hear that so often with other people who are on reality television. I was talking to Bethany Frankel about exactly that the other day. The edit that you get can affect your real life relationships after the fact. And so for me, that season of The Hills, what did you call it?
Franken, but yeah.
Like, it's like, it's an experiment. We're like figuring out which
Yeah.
pieces to use, Frankenbiting things together. But yeah, it's so impressive how creative editors can be, right?
Oh
Oh,
yes,
Oscar worthy.
you don't
Yes.
know going into those shows when you're young that they already have the entire season mapped out on a wall with post-it notes of the entire storyline with the arcs, and this person is going to do this and this person is going to do that. It's and on our shows specifically, and I don't think that they do this on many other reality shows, but on our show, they basically had us sit down for a scene. They would shoot it, and then they would reposition the cameras, and they would do it 5 or 6 times.
Oh,
And
insane.
they would do it so that you would say they would get you to say what they wanted you to say. In you know what I mean? Is they were doing it so ultimately they could get the cut they wanted to fit into the narrative that they had planned.